Good morning everyone, hope we're keeping well today. So welcome to part 1 of our journey completing the Wild Atlantic Way, along with some extra bits and pieces such as there's some famous passes and other drives as well that hopefully will add on into the series as well. So today we are starting off with the Inishowen Peninsula. I have made a video on this before, however I'm going to pretend that I never have done it. So I'm going to give you all the information again. We both are from County Armagh, so we began our journey this morning from roughly near the border, and we go from there to Auchnacloy, Omagh, Lifford, that direction. And Lifford is usually where we'll do our first stop. And when I say stop, it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. It's nothing crazy, but it's just enough to kind of, I don't know, it just makes the journey a lot easier on yourself. So if you can, 5 minutes, just hop off somewhere. It makes a world of difference, I promise. When you're leaving and you go over this bridge, these roads are not forgiving and they do not get any wider. So if you are somewhat of an international audience doing this trip, you may not like the roads you have to go down. However, if you are an Irish audience, you won't give a shit because it is pretty much back roads all the way. And don't let my incredible camera ship fool you. I was shook to death on this road. It is not a road for super sports bikes at all. In fact, the last time I did this journey was on the back of my dad's GS. And I swear to God, I didn't even realise there was bumps in the road until I did this journey. And I tell you something for nothing, I'm pretty sure I'm still vibrating. So, where do you see these views? I'm telling you, do you see, if you ever decide to do any part of the Wild Atlantic Way, the views are going to be unparalleled, I promise you. It was a lovely day we did this on. It wasn't super sunny, but on a super sunny day, it's unreal. And there is our fort right in front of us. That was a fucking experience. Oh my God. You couldn't stop laughing. It was really awkward and horrible. So Fort Dunree, it's also known as Fort of Heather. I actually couldn't find an age for it other than it being neglected from 1815. That was the earliest year I could find on her. But she was originally built as part of a series of defence systems used to protect Lough Swilly. And it's just on a open fissure, I believe it is built on too. It's pretty cool. And there all on my right is Lough Swilly. Oh, the views are class, but that's us coming out of it now anyway. And what we're doing now is we are going to head towards the Mamore Gap, or the Gap of Mamore. You can say it either way, it's both correct, don't be worrying about it. But what we did decide to do, if you drive up here, the direction for it is on the left. However, we decided that we just drove right past it and we went to the top of the hill or the mountain in front of it instead. Honest to God, just to turn. What do you see? We just turned and it was solely for the purpose to give you that. Look at that view. I swear to God, we live in such a beautiful country. I'm so friggin' lucky. Like, you can't beat that. You can't. One thing I will make you aware of, if you're doing any of these sort of back roads, if you're not used to it, please watch out for the sheep. The wee feckers are everywhere, but luckily they do tend to be quite good with passing vehicles and noise and things like that. However, you never know, so watch out for the wee buggers. You just don't know what they'll be up to. but this view that you see coming over the Mamore Gap, there's a reason it's world famous. However, I am just very sorry we didn't get it on a more clearer day, because just over this corner we're going through now, that's the water right in front of you, and it is breathtaking. You can pull in there on the right. We didn't this time just because, you know, we had one day to get this done. We were on the clock, so we just ploughed on. The Mamore Gap itself is actually located in the Uris Hills. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, of the peninsula. But I'm pretty sure it was notorious for smuggling. And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere it was notorious for making poaching as well. You know, the Irish drink? It's like the Irish grappa. It was rocket fuel, folks. It's just rocket fuel. But there you go. That's what it looks like behind us. But there is another stop for you, just a little on down here, and it's just like it's like a wee mini car park. The main road flows round to the left here. Pull off to the right. There's more feckin' sheep, God's sake. Pull up here to the right, and that is your wee car park. I do recommend going up in it, because not only now will you see the gap itself, but you will also get a full view of the ocean and the water in front of you as well. I forgot to mention, this is a two-way road. So if you are not used to driving in small roads, you're going to hate this. But anywho, the next thing, I believe, again, it was in a previous video, it's like a 30-degree turn coming down these wee corners. It only really is two sharp corners. So just be careful if you're not a very experienced driver, or if you've got very heavy luggage on your bike. It could make it a wee bit difficult, but take your time, you'll be grand. And just be careful coming to the bottom of this road, as it is very deceiving, as you will see, because it is right here. That is a crossroads, so you need to be very careful. Only my dad was in front of me. I wouldn't have copped that on. I know there's a big stop sign there, but you know what I mean. It's very well hidden. Anywho. Next up, what's on the list? Oh aye, we were heading to Malin Head, but to do that journey, we were heading in the direction of the five-fingered Strand beach. Now, we didn't go in it because, like, it was a nice day, but Jesus, it wasn't that nice. So we did pass it. However, if you even Google or look up the five-fingered Strand beach, you wouldn't believe you're in Ireland. That's not an exaggeration. That is not a joke. Look it up. You would not believe that beaches like that exist around our little island. And it's insane. I have been there before with Dad. There it is there to the left. However, not today. Like I said, we are under the pump here. We have shit to be doing, and we don't have a lot of time to be doing it. So, towards Malin Head is where we go. And like I said, it is back roads, folks. Again, most Irish people, this probably won't take a fidge out of us, but if you are not used to them roads, please be careful. I personally love them though. Look at that view. Oh. Alright, so this is on our way to Malin Head. The main road's there on the left. You turn up right where we're going, and it's in a tiny car park, which, by the way, you can camp overnight if you wish. You're welcome for that little extra bit of information. Only my dad and mum stay here in the camper is the only reason I know that info.
49, yep, right.
49. 50 miles. Yeah?
Hi Mom, 159, I'm gonna get this park out a couple of miles.
No bother. I was actually thinking that I go in and just park up somewhere, and we can always just go for a spin and just come back. Fucking right. So Dad drives a BMW GS 1200, and he was 150 mile off hitting 50,000 miles. Yes, I'm ready. Drive on. On our way towards Malin, you will notice, oh maybe you can't even see her, feck it, you can't see it. Anywho, not that house there on the left. There's a wee cottage right there where Daddy's head is, roughly. And it is known as the most pictured house in Ireland. Just a wee bit of info. But take this road all the way down and one turn on the left and it is going to bring you directly up towards Malin Head itself. If you're travelling up here on motorbikes and she is really windy, you can laugh at me all you want, but be careful, because I'm telling you now, if you take your bike up here on a really blowy day, she will knock it over. Alright, you can laugh, it sounds mental, but it's true, so I'm just letting you know. But usually it's not, crazy, especially if you come in the summer. Anyway, up here in Malin Head, it is the most northerly point of Ireland. So literally, top of the world right now. You're going to see there on the ground there, 80 era. That is actually a World War II relic. And what it was used, it was just to inform airplanes that were flying overhead that Ireland was neutral territory, that they were flying over neutral airspace. But I will say this to the day I die. The views from Ireland, and in particular, personally, the West Coast, unparalleled. You, honest to God, would not realise you're in Ireland half the time. It is truly stunning, and I'm so friggin' lucky to be born to this country. Like, I just love it with a passion. Of zero significance, but that cottage on the right there, and around this corner there's another wee cottage on the right hand side. Like I said, zero significance. They're two of the most beautiful cottages I've ever seen, and they always will be, in my humble opinion. But for now, it is home time, so in our next video there will be some nice changes hopefully. We are getting a set of mini mics so you can hear some of the banter myself and Daddy get up to. We do ask that you don't judge us, please. And there will be a few more camera perspectives also. So yeah, until next time, we would really appreciate a thumbs up. Please subscribe to keep up with us with our wee travelling journey. And until next time, drive safe.